Forgive the audio. Hey, I'm Chase, and this is All Things Random. We're in the middle of the mountains in Alaska, and we're gonna be doing a review on some dive masks. And guess what? It's so cold out here, it's ridiculous. Okay, so we have two different masks from Keystand. This is going to be a full face mask. This is going to be a collapsible snorkel set. However, this can easily be used for scuba diving as well. Wristwatch check. We're taking the Invicta 1953 in the cold water. So the reason I like this the most is just because it's in a small kit, right? The mask is extremely soft. I've already taken this out. It's extremely soft. It's going to seal extremely easily. This, I look forward to taking deeper scuba diving. I also love the fact that they have a collapsible snorkel. Snorkels they can be a pain to travel with, so I'm glad to see that they have that. Also has a tip that comes with it that has a ball, so when you dive under, it seals. However, if you are going to be snorkeling, you need to take this out of your mouth before you dive under the water. There is a well-known thing that when you dive under the water, if somehow you black out, your mouth clenches down and then it allows you not to breathe. But if you have this in your mouth and you clench down, well, guess what? Water can still get in. It's important every time you dive down to spit this out of your mouth. So let's build this real quick. And here is what the snorkel looks like with everything on. It feels sturdy, even though it's extremely flexible. And again, I'm really happy with the fact that it has a purge valve at the bottom, and everything is just extremely soft and nice and neat. Okay, now we have the full face one, and this is a large to extra large because I am 5'10", weigh about 195 pounds. So this is gonna fit adult males with sort of larger faces. And here's what it looks like outside of the bag. Very soft silicone around the outside, so it should seal around your face very well. Has straps, basic straps along the top with adjustable straps around the bottom. These things are very easy to use. That's exactly why they were created. They're created because instead of having to worry about not breathing through your nose or breathing through your nose or breathing through your mouth or gagging on, that's the one thing a lot of people who are just starting out, they tend to gag on the mouthpieces here. And you won't have that with this because your entire mouth is unobtruded. So it's very nice. Now it does have an external snorkel that breaks off or breaks down or comes off, so it packs up easier in here. So let's put this on and just get in the water. Out of the cold, into the fire. Now that we're back here at the studio, I have to tell you guys a bunch of stuff that occurred that didn't allow me to continue filming on site. One, the wind was extremely calm in the beginning, picked up really high in the end while I was trying to film me swimming into the middle of that small lake. Now that lake is very deceptive. That lake is probably at least 50 feet deep. Very shallow on the ends, and then it just drops right off. It's actually pretty surprising. Now the water was a little clear, but for some reason my camera was having an issue actually focusing on what was happening under the water. Now the water was so cold that it actually started draining the batteries of my phone almost immediately, and I was out there for probably a good solid 15 to 20 minutes in like 36-degree water, and I could only film probably a good solid 3 to 4 minutes of actual usable footage. It really didn't come down to anything, but I did learn a lot while I was out there. So let's just talk about these products in studio so you can have a better understanding of exactly what I like and dislike about them, because I'm not going to give you all positive stuff. I'm going to tell you the things that I would consider while using them, and I'm just going to be honest with you. Now, this full face mask, I've never really used a full face mask before, and I was surprised just how easy this was. Now, I like the fact that the top snorkel can easily connect, and it seals extremely well. Then comes right off. Now, one of the things I like the most about this is when these full face masks first came out, they were a safety issue because it used the same tube for your inhale and exhale. So because of that, you could technically have a carbon dioxide buildup in the mask where you were breathing. This is not like that at all. In fact, it was great to see that everything is sealed off on its own. You breathe in, it has valves on the inside here that allow oxygen to come in. It's sort of like a gas mask in the military. It allows oxygen to come in right here, and then you breathe out right here. That's great. That's great because that just means that you'll have less chance of CO2 buildup in the mask, and you're only gonna have fresh air for a long period of time. That was one good thing. This thing didn't fog up at all. In fact, that's the one thing I love the most. Anytime you wear a mask underneath the water, any scuba diver, any snorkeler will know that you tend to get a lot of fog on the inside of your goggles. Well, the design of this is so well that what happens is this, is that your mouth is completely sealed off. This is the one thing that I was really happy about. Didn't fog up once. Is that your mouth is sealed off right here. Your nose, your mouth is all sealed off. Now, when you breathe in along the top of the mask, brings air down along the surface, then into the ports right here, into the nose cup. Then when you breathe out, which is warm air, so you're breathing in cool air, you breathe out warm air. So when you breathe out warm air, it fogs down here, but it doesn't fog up here. That was one of the things. I'm actually really excited to take this on vacation. I'm not going on vacation for at least another year, but I'm really excited to take this on vacation because the experience of this one was really, really good. Really happy with the full face mask from Keystand. I can't say more positive things about it. And again, I'm not one to really use full face masks. I'm a scuba diver who likes to use classic goggles, classic masks. But this thing, I was pretty happy with that 100%. Even the snorkel at the top, it does have a couple balls here that work just like they should. If you want to dive down, it seals up mostly. And you may get just a little bit of water, but it's so little you'll never even notice it. Now let's talk about their collapsible, standard size mask and snorkel. Their mask is extremely comfortable. I'll tell you what, this thing is so comfortable and seals so well around the face. I have nothing more to say about this. This is a good mask, good quality silicone, soft rubber around the outside, seals perfectly, didn't have an issue with this one time. Not once. I'm super happy to take this scuba diving down deep, and I'm going to be doing a scuba video hopefully on a small dive tank next month. I'm taking these with me, so I'll link that video or this video right here with the scuba diving video so you guys know that this is the mask I'm wearing when I do that video. The snorkel itself, really like the snorkel. I really like the fact that everything comes apart, and when it comes to traveling, like I went to Hawaii with my family this year, and I took some of my snorkeling stuff, and I'll tell you what, the hardest thing to do is pack snorkel gear because you have fins, you have a mask, you have a snorkel, and snorkels, like fins, normally are rigid. There's some flexibility to it, but it's, you know, something else that you have to figure out a place to put. Well, it's nice that this just collapses down, and you don't have to worry about it at all. Collapses down to a very small profile, great. The snorkel itself, I like. I like the fact that the soft silicone right here on the mouthpiece is extremely comfortable, extremely soft. One of the things I said out there in the field that these full face masks are great for is the fact that people who are just learning how to snorkel will often gag on this. You'd be like, no, 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 they don't. Yeah, they do. Imagine, you know, if you've ever taken wrestling or sports or football or whatever else where you have to wear a mouthpiece, even though you form that mouthpiece to your own mouth and it fits perfectly to your mouth, a lot of times there are people who will start gagging on it and can only wear for a couple minutes at a time until they can build up the tolerance of their body getting used to it. So it's nice that the full face mask offers that. Didn't have an issue with this once, and the purge valve worked just as it should. There's only one critique I'm gonna have about any of this stuff, and that is this right here. And I'm gonna say it, and maybe I shouldn't, but I am anyway. This ball inside of this is extremely lightweight, extremely lightweight. That being said, you have to understand that when it comes to these balls, these things that allow them to seal up so that there's no like splash for water that gets inside of here, we have to understand that if they're extremely light like this one is, like it was cold, right? It was so cold that I was taking very deep breaths. Well, you guys hear that? So basically what happened was as I was starting to swim out on the first swim, right? I'm extremely cold, right? Now, if you're in warm water, if you are in Hawaii or in the Bahamas or someplace with warm water, something that isn't gonna accelerate your respiratory rate or your sac rate, well, guess what? This will work just fine because a nice cool breath works just fine, works great. But the moment you take a deep breath or something that's quick, this seals right up. And I was like, I'm gonna die out there. You know, I'm just kidding with that. So that's my only critique out of any of this, right? Is the fact that this ball is so light that if you take a deep breath at all or a quickened breath at all, goes right to the top, seals it, you can't breathe at all. So if you do get a collapsible kit like this, just go old school. So this is how I ended up using it. Once I found out I couldn't breathe through it because of this, I just went like this and that's fine. Other than that, I have nothing negative to say about any of this stuff, right? I went out in the cold, I sacrificed me getting sick because I started feeling like garbage the moment I got out. Long 2.5 hour drive back. But honestly, just to test these out in extremely cold temperatures, I never would have known that this may seal up if I took it into a swimming pool, right? Because everything's comfortable, everything's calm, but really, things happen, right? If you are snorkeling, and oftentimes people who are experts or novices or advanced, if you're just a beginner at something like snorkeling, a lot of times your respiratory rate is gonna be higher. You're gonna be breathing deeper because you're gonna be floating in an area that you're uncomfortable with, and you're gonna be looking down and it's gonna be deeper than what you really think, and you're gonna have a quickened breath, and this may close up on you. So it's just something to consider. Honestly, out of this entire thing, I would say if you're new, use this because this was just amazing. This changed the game completely. I've never once scuba dived with a full face mask on so that like I didn't have to worry about my stage 2 my stage 2 regulator in my mouth. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but man, this was just so easy to use. It was ridiculous. Anyway, if you like videos and videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment on the content you guys would like to see on this channel. Again, these work from Keystand, and I'm going to leave their website down below in the description. I have a lot of videos coming up in the future. I have some watch stuff coming up in the future. I have some more vlog stuff coming up in the future. I have so many videos coming up. Just make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell so you guys can be notified when I drop that next video. Until next time.